Alright, today we are unboxing this Millermatic 255, fresh out on the market. Dive right in. We got ourselves a regulator here. Looks like it's a, standard Smith. Basically the same exact regulator you get with any Miller welder you buy. Miller MIG welder. Just go ahead and thread in the little adjuster T-handle there. Get this box out of the way. And then I was pretty excited to see this. They actually include a really nice Bernard gun instead of the larger Miller guns that, like the one that comes on the Millermatic 252. The Bernards are quite a bit more solid. Just a lot better suited for heavy duty use, better consumables, heavier duty consumables, and just all around better build quality. You can see all those fasteners in the handle there, which the 252 gun does not have. Looks like they give us some extra tips here. It's pretty nice. We got quite a few of those already because we've got a few other Bernard guns, but those will come in handy. They'll get used. Got some paperwork there, little sheet metal thickness gauge from Miller. Kind of handy. Got a little ring there. You want to put on a keychain. And then now, just trying to figure out how I'm going to get this thing out of the box with it on the table. It's a little hefty. It's kind of a tall reach. I was thinking maybe I could just tear the box off around it, but I think the best option is probably going to be to set the whole thing down on the floor and just set the welder up on the table. It's not too heavy. I haven't looked at the specs on it, but I'd say it's maybe 60, 70 pounds, something like that. It's not exactly portable, but if you had to take it on site, it wouldn't be an issue. This is actually kind of one of the reasons we got this thing, was for running 045 dual shield out in the field. We also have XMTs and stuff like that, but it's not quite as convenient to run the whole separate feeder and power supply out in the field. So this makes that a little bit more convenient. Just throw this on top of a little Rubbermaid cart or whatever with the bottle underneath and just do your thing. Come in and get a closer look at it here. 255. Paint looks nice, no damage. A little bit of a different interface here, especially if you're coming from like the 252. The 252 has the power terminals inside the welder, and this guy's got like the DINS connectors on the front, kind of like some of the Euro style welders. Although I will say it's not a Euro style MIG connector, it's standard, but it's just got the power terminals on the outside like the European ones do. Nice looking drive roll setup here. Uses the same rollers as the 252, so if you've already got those stocked up, you don't have to completely swap out all your rollers and buy new ones for your different wire sizes and flux core, dual shield, all that. So we'll go ahead and put the camera back up here and see if we can't get the gun hooked up and get everything all connected. So everything's packaged super nice on this. Nothing flopping around. Everything's zip tied down. Just real nice job. No damage or anything. So this is the power supply for the drive roll. Well, the 252, they have like just a short jumper wire that goes from that to the positive or negative stud, depending on what kind of wire you're running inside the welder. But this one, like I was saying earlier, has got them panel mounted on the front, so you got that little short whip. Just cutting the zip ties off this gun here. I don't think Miller has anything to do with that. I think they probably just get a Bernard gun and just throw it in the box. So that's kudos to Bernard on the excellent packaging. Several zip ties holding it all together. A little protective condom off of here. And so we'll hook the drive roll up to the positive side because we're going to be setting this up for hardwire and or dual shield. This machine will probably never see inner shield run on it, so just go ahead and slide the gun into the drive rolls. Helps if you wet those O-rings a little bit, helps keep them from tearing or bunching up while you're pushing it into the little block there. And then just feed the control wire through and plug that in inside the welder. And that's basically just your wires running down from the trigger that, you know, tells the welder what to do. You just spin off this guy to load some wire on here. And I think this is the part of the video where I go cruising around the shop trying to find a spool of wire, but I forgot to hit pause on the camera, so here we are. I think the wire I'm grabbing is just our kind of house brand that they sell at the local welding supply. Nothing fancy, no name brand wire. It runs good though. If you're, you know, a hobbyist looking to save a few bucks, I recommend looking into that, the house brand wire versus, you know, buying Lincoln or Hobart or whatever wire. Might save you a few bucks towards, you know, other things. So we got our spool 035, our ground clamp, which we'll hook up in a minute. You just want to make sure you got the spool on there the right side, so it's spooling off either the top in this case or off the bottom. Some welders, the wire spools off the bottom and the wire feed sits a lot lower in the case, but usually on the larger welders like this that take the bigger spools, they will feed down. They'll feed off the top of the roll in to the wire feeder. You can just see me struggling with that wire spool hold down nut there. Most of them are left hand thread, but that one apparently is right hand thread. So usually when you got the wire, you can see it's all kinked up from being tucked into the hole in the side of the spool, so you want to clip that off so you're not fighting the kink and messing up your liner and all that. And just go ahead and feed into the little guide at the back of the drive roll. And then flip the upper roll down, get everything all lined up, and slip the tensioner down and lock everything in place. Now we're pretty much ready to just kind of give everything a once over and start feeding wire. So it's got the same, you can see, same rolls as the 252. And actually all of Miller's like standalone wire feeders too. Got the 035s in there. You just want to verify that you got the correct size rolls on there and the correct format. You don't want to be running, you know, the serrated rolls on hardwire or, you know, just the V rolls for flux core. Just go ahead and plug in that ground clamp at the negative terminal, and we're all set up. So now we're going to kick this guy on. Check out all the cool flashing lights. That's what your purchase gets you. Flashing lights and stuff. It's a pretty cool looking interface. It's pretty intuitive. I kind of, after I made this video, I kind of messed around with it a little bit, and it seems to work really well. So this is going a little bit slow. I think I'm probably going to have to turn the wires feed up past 60. Let's go ahead and start cranking that up, and oh, or instead of doing this, we'll just use this jog button right here. Look at that. Paying attention. I did not read the instructions before I looked at this, but just looking at the faceplate of it there, it's fairly intuitive. Yep, had a little recording snafu there, so back at it. And we've got wire. Just go ahead and grab the tip here. I like these center fire consumables for the Bernard guns. They're real nice. Big, beefy tip that just kind of slots in there, and then the thread-on nozzle clamps it down, which is super nice. Way better than the Miller little tiny tips that thread in. Not really a fan of that. So just go ahead and clip it off. We got a wire feed. Clip it off again, and we're ready to go.